Hi and welcome to the workshop 2.1 CFD ANSYS meshing methods. So this workshop looks at the different kinds of meshing methods used for ANSYS meshing, but particularly what we're going to be looking at is just one model and then potentially looking at the different kinds of meshing algorithms we can apply to this model. So the first thing that we want to do is looking at some of the objectives, which is looking at the automatic TET patch confirmation method, multi-zone, looking at Cartesian, and we can also look at the different sweep methods, TET and sweep methods using the automatic and decomposition methods. So first things first, again, very similar to the previous video, we're going to drag and drop a mesh component. And with that mesh component, we're going to, again, import it in a geometry. And the component that we're going to import in is called component.stp. So import, browse, go to your working part. And it's the component STP that we want. So open that. And again, here, I always just make sure on the save time, even though it's got a tick, just open it up in ANSYS Design Modeler. Make sure that we have the lightning strike as a tick here, and then we can file close design modeler. Again, the reason for this is to ensure that the model does pass through the geometry to the ANSYS meshing. So once ANSYS meshing is opened up, it will import your model in. Just give it a few seconds. And the first thing that we want to do is make sure that our units are in setting metrics as according to the workshop instructions. And what we want to do is do a bit of planning. So this CAD file contains a single body. So let's see here, the flow enters from the upper pipe section and passes down through the bottom, and we've got some exit holes here for some vents. So pretty much all meshing methods could be applied to this, and what we're going to do is try and demonstrate the different approaches. So opening up our mesh and opening up the sizing, we can see that straight away, it believes it's a mechanical, so let's change that to CFD, so it becomes more familiar with the fluent solver. The adaptive sizing is no, we want to make sure that everything else is yes, curvature size yes, proximity no, so that's correct. And what we want to do now is just to make sure that under the quality we set this to as medium. So yes, error, default is 0.9, that's fine, medium, and then the orthogonal quality, let's see here, should be 0, 0, that's fine. So first of things, as there's no mesh, it's best to give it the name selections. So you should know this by now by selecting the face, pressing N on the keyboard. This is inlet. Rotate this model by using the middle mouse button. Outlet. And the vents wise, we're going to use something a little bit more later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the global inflation. And in the detail mesh, so under inflation, we've got here inflation. Open this one up, and what we want to do is use program control. So if you use program control, anything that has a name selection will have inflation. Anything that doesn't, anything that has a name will not have inflation. So therefore, every other surface will have inflation apart from the inlet and the outlet. So program controlled, and the number of layers we want here is 4. And the maximum thickness here, what we want to do is change that one to total thickness. Maximum thickness here is 0.003. And what we want to do is we just want to press generate mesh now and give it a few seconds, and we'll see we have inflation on the upper and lower going throughout the whole system. And as you can see, because curvature is turned on, these events have a lot more finer mesh applied to them. So what we want to do now is make sure that everything's appropriate. So click on the ISO and then click on the +Z, and this way here we can then use the image selection plane to cut through, and again just to visualize what's actually happening inside. And again here you can see the inflation going around the wall surfaces and not the inlet or the outlet. So what we want to do now is insert in a method manually. So at the moment everything was done on automatic. So what we want to do is make sure that we've got the body tool selected, and right click on the mesh, add clear generated data. So anything that we've done in terms of meshing, that'll be all eliminated. And what we want to do is right click on the mesh and insert a method and select the body. What this will do is also just go to the section plane, just get rid of that there, so we can see. So everything is green, so we know that that's been selected. And make sure you press apply, and it should say one body that's been selected. Now in that one body, what we want to do is we want to change the actual method, and the method, you can see, is by default automatic. And what we want to do is we want to select to multi-zone. So when you select multi-zone, it gives you a lot more key features that we can change in order to get the most appropriate model mesh algorithm needed for this kind of situation. So the mapped mesh type is hex, the surface mesh is program control, the free mesh type, it says not allowed, we want to change that to tetra and pyramid. We're going to use the source and target section, we'll leave that as automatic. Sweep element size, keep that as default, protected off and no, and that's fine. And now if we just press generate mesh, it will do it in a different approach. So here you can see that most majority of the mesh is using hex, and we can, again, clicking on the +Z, cut a new plane. Okay, so here we can see clearly it's most predominantly hex, and then wherever the hex can't work, the tet element comes into play to fill in the missing gaps. So one thing we can also do is change the approach, the method. So in the method option here, bring the details back again. So you'll see that there is a method, and in that method we can change that to Cartesian. So this is a different approach to it, and what we want to do is make sure that everything is exactly the same, but the element size type here in the defaults. So when you go to click on mesh and you've got the element size here in the defaults, what we want to do is change that to 5e to the -3. So 5e -3. Okay, and if we now just press generate mesh, we will have a new mesh difference in here. So here what you can see now is it's got rid of the actual tet element side of it, and now it's fully filled it up with the hex dominant mesh you can see here. And again here, so now the approach to using sweepable mesh is what we need to do is we need to go and separate the bodies, because the top part can be swept, the bottom part can be swept, and the middle part can be done in a different kind of approach. So what we will need to do is close meshing. Now if you're very good, you can go into Design Modeler and split those models yourself. You should know how to do this, and the workshop does give you the different bodies. So I would use the edge loop split method, But if not, for the purpose of this, what we want to do is we're going to right click and replace the geometry. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look for the sweep method SDOC file. So in here, right click, replace, browse, and what we're looking for is the sweep method. So here we've got the sweep method, open, okay, and then if we double click on the mesh, press yes, and what it will do is it will replace the previous model with the newer, already split model. So that takes a bit of a while to come through. You can see it now, but yeah, we have three separate bodies, and you can see the components in here, but three separate elements. So the one thing that we want to do is we want to be able to apply the mesh methods and sweep methods. So it's saying that we need to select each body shown in blue for each of the methods. So we know that the top part of here, just get rid of this section plane. So what we can do is you can actually select each body to apply in bleach method. So mesh, show sweepable bodies, and now it shows you those sweepable bodies at the bottom, and you can know which one's which. So we know these two are the actual sweepable methods. So what we want to do is right click, delete this. We don't need that anymore. Insert method, and the body is this one here. Apply. The method is sweep. Where it says source, and what we want to do is change that from automatic to manual. Source is going to be the top face here. Apply. So you can see that now from the workshop it looks very similar. Again, now we want to insert in another method, bottom one here. Apply, change that to sweep, and again here what we're looking for is changing the automatic into manual and select the bottom surface. Apply. So those are all ready now in order to move on. Now we need to apply some inflation. So the global program controlled inflation we've used so far is not compatible with the sweep mesh, so we must create a local inflation control. So select the two faces and right click and insert inflation. So what we want to do is select that face and press Control and select the bottom face. Both of those have been selected. Right click, insert, and what we want to do is put inflation. So once we put the inflation in there, the match mirror inflates at the boundary degrees, the edges of the face will treat the same faces. And what we want to do now is, we've got those two faces selected, we press apply. Now the boundaries here, because it needs the boundaries is asking you to press apply, we select that one and that one, press apply. We're going to leave it the number of layers, so where it says total thickness, number of layers is 4, and the maximum thickness here is 0.003, so that's fine. Now apply inflation to the shown body. So again, what we need to do is apply it to this body as well, and it's very important. So what we want to do is select the body and then insert inflation, and now it's going to ask you for all of the faces, and there's a total number of faces in here, should be 35. So you could potentially use this, and you can see that it's got 37. so which is wrong. So there's 2 extra surfaces on here, and what you will find, it's the one underneath here and one below here. So what we would do is select this one, hide this body, and you can see that, you know, these are the faces that we've got selected. So again, if we go to the inflation 2 and then select all of these, but this time deselect this one and this one. So 5. Okay, so we got all of those. And the inflation again, total thickness, 4 layers, 1.2 and 0.003. And now if we unshow show all bodies, show bodies, and then press generate mesh, if you get a message coming up here, just press allow access. So generate mesh. If it still gives you an error, it's probably because the inflation is still turned on in the actual global sizing. So what we want to do is put none on there and then press generate mesh. Otherwise the inflation from the global sizing gets affected with the inflation from the actual local inflation sizing that we've provided here. So as you can see, now this has been meshed, so you can see that there's a sweepable mesh using hex on the top and bottom, and we've got tep mesh in the middle. And again, we can go to the selection plane and have a look at these in detail, and you can see that the inflation is provided on both sides. Okay, and that's it for this workshop.